Hey everyone, welcome back to Order. I'm up here today with.
Gunner Rivers.
Manning Petrie.
Grady Skipper.
Thank you for watching this episode on the Wild Cardinal Network. 35 subscribers away from 3K. There's a prize in it for these guys in the broadcasting class. But more importantly, we got some football to discuss today. 41-7 St. Michael over Pleasant Grove to advance to the third round of the playoffs against Bullock County right here at the Nest. So as we know, the trip up to Birmingham was a 4.5 hour trip, at least from my house, probably a 5 to Birmingham to Pleasant Grove. And when you take out the high school football team, you got to take them out to eat on a road trip. I want to know, Grady, tell us all about the food.
Food was good early and Lenny's. Then when we got at Moe's Barbecue, we had grilled mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, salad or fruit, and a drink. I mean, it was awesome. It was nice.
Pretty good, pretty good. And I will go ahead with the atmosphere or the lack of atmosphere in Pleasant Grove. I know the Cardinals travel well. I'll ask Manning this question. What did you think about playing at Pleasant Grove for the second time?
I mean, it's really cool. Like, obviously, their band, they, like, regardless of what the score is, they're still playing, and that's a cool environment to be in, just have something like that. And then the weather and the turf. I mean, the turf was interesting because I hadn't played on turf like that before, so it was, I don't know, it was, like, something I had to adjust to, I guess, throughout the game. But, I like the atmosphere as a whole, though, just like the way the stadium is and everything's set up. It was cool.
Yeah, I will admit the stadium has good architecture, but in terms of their fan turnout, not the greatest in the world. And I know our guys came, but their band was loud, as you mentioned. Gunnar, I want to hear your opinion on their band. Did it make a difference on offense?
It did a little bit. I mean, we had one play where our right guard, Chase DeRoy, kind of didn't hear the snap count. I don't know if that was completely because of the band or not, but, I mean, the band, it's – and, I mean, we had UMS had a good band, Satsuma. It's always fun when the other team has a good band. They also, I mean, they didn't have many fans, though. We probably had more fans than they did, even though it was 4 hours away. But even they had like during
DJ.
yeah, during like timeouts and stuff, they would play some music on their sideline. I thought that was kind of cool. Kind of got the guys a little hyped, but yeah, I think it was pretty cool.
As we just talked about, the band played a little bit of a role in kind of disrupting our offense a little bit. And for those who watched the game, we kind of got off to a slow start on the very first drive, but then we kicked it into gear. Gunner, Grady, anything that the coaches said to kind of turn it around, or did you guys hold yourselves accountable on offense to kind of right the ship and, ultimately put up 41 points on Pleasant Grove?
Yeah, I feel like the first drive was, I mean, it was mainly just kind of we had a little, I don't know how to say, it kind of dropped a little high snap that was kind of bobbled, and we kind of had a third and long, which kind of put us in a bad position. So I feel like that's really what affected us. And then the second drive, we did actually have a penalty, and then we overcame it with a long touchdown. But I mean, we just got behind the chains really, and that's what really has hurt us this year in totality. I feel like once we've been ahead of the chains, we've been good all year.
Grady, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we've been good all year, but when the penalties start catching up to us, we get a little behind. But yeah, I think in that first drive, we just the over snap, the penalties. We had a few penalties too. Just kind of, but I mean, the second drive we kind of just overcame it and went like usual.
Yeah, as any good football team would. Battling adversity is key. And I'll talk about the defensive side of the ball. Mr. Manning Petrie here plays defense. What was their kind of attack on offense? I saw a heavy dose of run. They got their yardage on the ground, but ultimately almost held them off the scoreboard. They scored in garbage time to add the 7 points. I just want to hear your thoughts on how they played on offense.
I mean, they came out the gate running it. The first thing they did is just like, I mean, they just all crammed in and just ran it right up us. That was what they were trying to do. And then throughout the game, as they couldn't score, I mean, they kind of switched over to passing more. But we have a pretty solid pass defense. And overall, just like we had some long drives where they were close to scoring, but like Braden's pick and then another one, I think. We had a turnover on. We had a couple throughout the game. But just the defense, like, making them snap it again, that just helped a lot with how the game went and ultimately almost keeping them from scoring.
Yeah, and as you said, I believe 3 turnovers it was, 3 interceptions. Was it 2 by Brody, 1 by Braden
Braden,
Smith
yep.
for a pick 6?
Mhm.
And, hey, when you keep put up defensive points, it helps out the offense a little bit. But this was not the Pleasant Grove. I'll just go ahead and say this was not the Pleasant Grove I thought we were going to get this week. You guys could speak to this, but just as a spectator's perspective, everybody talked about this could be a little bit tougher of a game, but we took care of business, got it done 41-7, and I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. I don't know if they necessarily gave us everything we thought they were worth, and like I said, I want to hear you guys' opinions on that.
I think they were. I expected them to be a little better than they were, but I mean, also, if they scored on the last drive before half, it was going to be 14-7 at half, which makes the entire game different for the entire second half. I mean, that pick 6 kind of ruined all their momentum, and they pretty much shut it down after that. And then from that point on, we just kind of controlled the game.
Grady?
Yeah, it wasn't the team from last year. Being in the game and all the talk about it, it definitely wasn't. But they still put in effort to try. But I mean, it's not the same. Pleasant Grove being tied at halftime or around there, halftime. Pleasant Grove. It was kind of just like I don't know how to put it, but it's not the same.
Yeah, we'll get your thoughts on that, Manny.
Well, in my opinion, they aren't a bad team by any means, and I think the score is just more of a testament to how we played that game and not really them being poor in terms of playing. Like Gunner said, they almost had it within 1 score at half, which really would have made the game look a lot different in people's opinions. So, but I think the thing is we just overcame the fact that they were good players and they made plays throughout the game, but it's just we had them beat pretty much everywhere.
Would you say that pick 6 before half kind of put the nail in the coffin and took all the momentum out of their sideline? And you could attest to how they came out in the third quarter. Did it kind of feel like they had checked out, or were they still fighting hard in the second half?
I wouldn't say they checked out. Their player, obviously all their seniors, that's definitely their last game, so they weren't checked out. But it felt like their defense especially just had that was kind of the I don't know, the dagger that just
Final
ended
straw.
them after. Yeah. And I don't know, I just feel like they lost kind of momentum and everything after that pick 6, and they were we're down 21-0. Can we go out and defend? And even if we do, I mean, once they were down 28-0, it felt like the game was out of hand for them already.
Yeah, and as we know, the ultimate score reflected all that field of play, but we did get to roll the JV. Any guys stand out to you on JV, Gunner, on offense?
I'm trying to think the last drive. Nigel had the first carry of the last drive and went for
40 or
about 40 or 50 yards. That was good. And then we kind of stalled out a little bit, but I mean, we didn't. It wasn't too long. It was just 2 drives one drive for offense, 1 drive for defense. But we actually held in there pretty good.
The reason I bring this up week in and week out is because we have been waiting for a JV score. I know us at the Wild Cardinal Network, we get excited when the JV players get out, and they nearly got the score. And
Yes.
they kind of stalled out, like you said, but I mean, that's good. They're driving on the starting defense of a playoff team in high school football. I mean, a developing playoff team, we'll say that, but that's pretty impressive. But on defense, I want to hear anybody stand out to you on JV.
I gotta say, Aiden Bodine going in on that last play really stood out to me.
I need to hear this. I need to hear the story about this. So he went
in on the last. He's been begging Coach Murray since the beginning, first game of the year, and he wanted to be in with his brother, and he went over there and asked him, and Coach Coach Rivers told him to go in there, and he did, and I thought that was pretty cool. Really stood out to me.
Have you been on the field at the same time as your brother, Manny?
No.
I don't believe I have, just because he plays quarterback, and I don't know how many situations I'd really be on the offensive side of the ball. So
Well, Grady just laid down the way to do it, man. Just go ask Coach Rivers or something. Put you at tight end, let him throw you a check down.
I'd love to do that. Yeah,
Hey.
maybe if we're ever up by, which I don't really see happening, but if we're up by 35 again, maybe I'll see about that.
Well, Bullock County next week. Speaking of being up by 35, I think. But I'd like to hear you guys' opinion on that. We'll start with Gunner. I've watched their film. They went over Mobile Christian last week, I believe. So they made it to third round. They're doing something right apparently. So I'll just hear your thoughts on that real quick. What do you have to say about Bullock?
Yeah, they're good. They're physical and they're fast. It's their first. This year's the first year they've won a playoff game
Like 108 years.
in like 100, and since the school's been
Like
in
118
existence.
years.
So they're kind of riding that high, I guess. So they're definitely going to have some momentum, and they're definitely going to bring it. They're definitely not going to be a team to kind of shy away. They're definitely just going to try to go at us. But if we jump on them quick, some games we've watched where teams have gotten up on them, they kind of quit. So hopefully if we get a good start on them, we can kind of just finish them from there.
Grady, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they definitely got some momentum to them, like being the first people to win a playoff game in that full school in like 118 years. They're going to be excited and want to do more than they have. But they did get beat by this 1A team with an 8th grader.
3A.
team. And with an 8th grader quarterback. And they're 76-0 or something.
They dropped like
That's
wasn't that
facts.
bad.
It was like 76-40 something.
I mean,
Manning, I want to hear your thoughts on Bullock County.
I mean, they're physical, and as Coach has brought up a couple of times, they run the ball about 90% of the time.
Yeah, with the
so-
quarterback, right?
Yeah, that quarterback, he's wearing a Guardian cap in games and
Yes.
changes his jersey number every week, it feels like, from what we've seen. I don't really know what's going on with that, but they just kind of let him do whatever with the ball, and he'll randomly throw it up, like, way down the field about once every 10 plays. I don't know.
Yeah, I will attest to that. That's what they put on film. Mobile Christian had a problem, and they also have a decent-sized RB2, from what I saw, too, who made a couple big plays for him. Not the starting running back, but the backup running back. Gave Mobile Christian some problems, too. And he reminds me a few years ago, I don't know if you guys remember this guy from T.R. Miller.
Oh,
The dude who played defensive tackle
Yeah, I
and also
remember.
played running back. That guy reminds me almost exactly of him. And defensively for Bullock County, I saw a lot of Bear on film. And at least they showed a lot of Bear. And I won't necessarily ask you guys to talk about the game plan here on the fifth quarter, but I'm sure that shows some advantages of stuff we could take advantage of when they line that many guys in the box. Now, I will ask this. Are we looking more to pass out of that? Or are we still going to try to run the ball into that heavy front?
You'll have to find out.
Yeah, you'll have to find out.
We'll probably look though, but we'll see how they play us. I mean, Mobile Christian is a run-heavy team, so I think part of that was why they were playing them in a bare front. So we'll see what they do against us.
Grady?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of both. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Who knows?
How you kind of our answer here, kind of find out. And you will be able to find out live on the NFHS network this Friday here at the Nest, 12 hours later on the WCN, where you can watch the video. And it's free if you do it that way, but also you can subscribe to NFHS network and see the game live. This WCN crew broadcast the game, and that wraps it up for this episode of the fifth quarter. I've been up here, my good friends Grady, Manning, and Gunner. Till next time, go Cardinals.
3,000 subscribers, so we have a pizza
Yes,
party.
do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.